days, plenty of high-quality Dota 2 action, lots of questions to answer. Virtus.Pro on home soil, of course, looking for yet another major, or can Liquid finally break their duck in the DPC? Lots of questions to answer over the next few days, and the perfect men alongside me to answer them. We've got Gods and Capitalist alongside to start off day number 2, gents. Feels weird to say day number 2, considering it feels like we're just starting the tournament and we've already had day 1.
Yeah, it is a little weird. Seeing as like it's just day 1 was just one series, and I guess now we're on the 3rd series starting day 2.
Yeah, because we kind of had a late start today as well. They gave us the morning off, which was very nice. Not used to that kind of nice treatment.
Yeah, we're kind of strolling through things slowly today, and then it speeds up tomorrow when we start having like 2 lines of games going at once. So things will quickly, you know, get crazy here at Epicenter. Yeah,
before we get into it today, I guess what we should really do is talk about where we are DPC-wise, because we're at the business end of things now. There's not many left, is there? I mean, nearly all majors bar 1 minor. So massive points incoming over the next 5 tournaments.
It's like major, major, minor, major. It's like all in the span of like 45 days or something. It's like 30 days of crazy land Dota. So it really is crunch time for a lot of teams. We'll probably see 1 or 2 faces in the top 8 because of how many points are at these majors. Not to mention the top 2 or 3 teams, some of them are missing a major here or there because they've kind of secured their spots to TI. Even if not mathematically yet, they feel pretty confident. You know, chances are we're still going to get there. So things will get shaken up a bit.
Are you expecting that shake-up to happen at Epicenter, Cap? Do you think we might see
possibly.
another new winner?
I guess I would have to look at the list again.
We've got Mineski, obviously, a standout team that have won DAC, became the first team outside of that incredible 3 teams, which was OG, Secret, and Virtus.Pro, to win a major.
Yeah, I guess that the DAC really did show like how quickly a team can jump up in the rankings. Mineski, like, what were they before?
I think they were 11th
they were
or 12th
like,
or something.
They were out of top 8, and all of a sudden they jumped up to near top of the pool. So it really does show that in this current system that winning a major is going to be able to get you so much. And there are some teams, I would say most of the shakeup I think is going to come in that 6th, 7th, 8th area, where we're seeing teams, especially one notable team, which I would point to is Evil Geniuses. They're currently 8th, I think, on the top.
I think they've actually dropped out.
Oh, they're no longer in the top 8.
Yeah, I think they dropped out. They're 9th now because LGD have just pushed themselves
they're
into
big
the
time
top
trouble
8,
because they aren't even here.
Yeah. And
so they're gonna get getting passed over by some other teams.
I think, and the big opportunities come, when big teams miss out, whereas Epicenter, we have all the top teams here. None of the teams have decided to skip Epicenter. They're like, look, this is Epicenter, this is a big deal. We want to all play here. Some of the upcoming majors, a few teams are like, let's take a break. But right now, I don't think we'll see a shake-up here at Epicenter, unless there's a big upset, which is definitely possible. That's what we had at DAC. Yeah. None of the top teams missed DAC. So.
Yeah, who had an SEA team versus a Chinese team in the grand final at DAC? No one.
Especially after that group stage where we were talking about, like, are the Chinese teams going to go extinct here at DAC? Like, where there was only 2 left after that first weird little breakout stage.
And there's another question for both of you. Can China win a major? We're still asking, how the hell are we still asking this? Vici have had 4 grand finals, lost all of them. VGJ have had 3 grand finals, lost all of them. LGD have had 3 finals, lost all of them. What is it?
They've had 3?
China's just like IDC majors. We have TI. They just.
But this system specifically means you can't go IDC majors mode, you know? Like, you got to secure an actual spot into TI.
They got 4 teams in the top 8. They're fine, you know? They're cruising through, like, 3rd place here, 4th place there, 2nd place there. You know, we're good.
Yeah.
China's just,
in 7 of the last 8 tournaments in the DPC, Chinese team have finished runners-up.
Okay, so I think
that's good numbers.
That's incredible.
You know, winning a major and everything, like, remember
we were talking
about this all the time. Like, winning a tournament, like that can happen. We've seen a lot of different teams make those kind of runs where, like, oh, look at Ad Finum, you know, like Boston Major, holy crap, the grand finals, like, wow, what an amazing run. After that, didn't really do anything, right?
Sure.
So it's consistency that is more important than actual winning at the end of the tournament. Right? So if you're consistently placing at top 2, like China is doing, right? They're making routine grand final appearances. Even if they're not actually winning the grand finals, it's still a very important achievement that they're remaining at the top.
I'm glad you raised that, because when you look at the top 8 right now, you've got Virtus.Pro, Liquid, Secret, Mineski. That's the top 4. So you've got CIS, 2 Euros, and an SEA. The next 4 slots are all from Chinese teams. Which backs up the theory, doesn't it?
They're consistent. I think if you look at every team who's won a TI, it's never been like a a shocker team who's won TI. There's been maybe some shocker finalists like CDEC, Digital Chaos, but the winner has always been a team that had some good results throughout the season.
Sure.
When you look at Liquid, even like Wings Gaming, when they did it, like they were a team that had won several events and consistently done pretty well, even though they'd bombed out here or there. It's always the team who's done well throughout the season. So I think as long as you're having pretty consistent results, having a tournament where you do well, you compete with the best, maybe you have 1 or 2 bad tournaments, that's okay position to be in going to TI.
All right. There is one other critical thing that we need to discuss, and it's an important thing. LGD have made a recent change and have been...
I believe you mean PSG.LGD? Excuse me?
Apparently that's what they're called, yeah. PSG.LGD esports, spelt badly. And until they change that capital S, I'm just going to carry on calling them LGD. I think it's outrageous that they come into our sport and they misalign themselves and put the wrong capital on the wrong letter.
Listen, Paul,
and then put it on their shirts.
These are professional sports people, okay? They're gracing us, the esports world, with their presence at all. If they want to call it esports with a capital S, they think that's the right way to do it, then they're the professionals. I'm going to absolutely concede to whatever PSG.LGD want to call esports.
Maybe it's the French spelling. Esports.
Esports.
Esports. I don't know, because you're...
Well, either way, I'm just going to carry on calling them LGD until they...
Spelling. They're French, you know, Paul. They do things their own special way.
Yes, there is that. But it's up to them. It's the ball's in their court. They can't just come along and dictate to us. I'm sorry, that's not how it works. You can roll over if you want, Cap, and just be that kind of guy and just, you know, take it on the chin and walk away from it.
I just find your whole crusade hilarious.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It is a crusade.
Like, do you have a list of, like, all the various organizers or sports teams that have wronged you?
I do. Go to my Twitter. Go to my Twitter right now. There is a list, and the list is called The Offenders of the Capital S. And they are on it right now. PSG are on it. And if you want to come off that list, then that's fine. All you need to do is just change your name to esports at the bottom without a capital S in it. You can use the capital at the start if it's at the start of the sentence, or just, you know, like ordinary human beings that speak English everywhere around the world. Capitalize it at the start. Don't capitalize it during the middle. And definitely don't use a capital S anywhere at all, ever. Right, I ran over. Let's move on. First game of the day for us is a repeat of DAC. Grand finals. These two haven't played any games since official. Now they get to do this all over again.
For Mineski, it's actually their 3rd series in a row against LGD.
Yeah.
Right? They had upper bracket final.
They're sick of these guys.
Final. Now they have Epicenter group
Please
stage.
stop playing us. We don't want to play you anymore. But they come here as champions of a major. That's got to feel good. It's got to be a bit different too, isn't it?
I think it's kind of sigh of relief when you win that big major. You don't maybe go into the next tournament expecting to win again, but it's like you know you have what it takes. I think every team is always questioning, is this the right mix of players? Like, do we actually stand a shot to get 2nd, 3rd, win a TI? And until you like win a big tournament against the best teams, you're maybe sometimes doubting that. Even though Mineski had been consistent, they were like in the top 8 for a while at the start of the season, then dropped out. I think there were still a lot of concerns. This was a team that was maybe even facing potential roster changes if they'd done poorly at DAC. So the fact they won DAC is such a sigh of relief for them.
There was a man not on that picture who should also be credited with some of the work that went into this. And actually, the players have sung his praises and said a lot of what he's done has changed the way that they play the game. And that's the coach.
Yep, absolutely right. He went on his revenge tour at DAC and managed to just get a lot of vengeance against the teams that had wronged him in the past, and now he's here at Epicenter to kind of continue the push here for Mineski. I think that it's different, right? It's different having a coach be in such a dictator position, where you are the ones calling the shots, you're the one doing the draft. It goes to show a difference of mentality from the west to the eastern side, right? Because he is obviously coming from the Chinese scene, which is where this kind of originates from. Yep. And the fact that it is showing to be successful here is interesting to me because I've heard so many, like, obviously being a Western personality, I've surrounded myself with a lot of Western pros, and they all really do not like the concept, for the most part, of this coach coming in and taking so much control away from them.
Yeah, I always wondered, you know, Daryl being a free spirit as he is, would he respond well to that kind of coaching? But he obviously does. It's obviously what the team needed.
Yeah, it's what Daryl's kind of needed as well, like as a player. He's such a crazy chaotic player that you want to kind of play around, but he doesn't necessarily lead the game. But you need to play around him. So I think having this kind of coach factor who can make sure that, you know, the team is all on the same page, they understand how to execute their draft, has really helped them because they've often kind of lacked that leader. They kind of had jabs drafting and kind of captaining at the start of the season. This guy's super young, inexperienced. Like, he was kind of learning the role as he went. So you really need a veteran coach when you have a captain drafter like that.
How different is it going to be for them coming here as champions, being in 4th place in the rankings? They're not secure yet, but they're pretty close now, and you'd fancy their chances in this position with four tournaments to go after this one, and they're sitting in 4th. So how do they approach it? Are they more relaxed? Do they chill out a bit more? Do they play off the fact that they're the champions?
I think that it entirely depends on the type of players and the type of captain that you have. As you could see from, I think, just TI winners, right? Like, you look at Liquid, and Kuro's the kind of person who is not going to let up whatsoever. Yep. He's going to maintain that hard stance and say, we're going to do our best. We're going to come out the gate of this winning TI. We're going to go immediately into the next tournament and win that one. We're actually going to stay near the top of the DPC rankings this entire season. So I think that entirely depends on the personalities of Mineski.
As you're describing that you're also describing Mushi, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, this guy is serious. He never just plays to have fun. He has been like the stalwart SCA figure. He's been carrying Malaysian Dota on his back for the last 7-8 years. So I don't think he's someone who's going to want to take this tournament easy.
Yeah. Would you ever was there ever a period of time where you really felt like Mushi was in the dumpster, right, when it came to play level wise compared to everyone else?
No,
I don't think so. I think he always remained relevant.
Yeah, even when he had dips in form and people would be like, "Oh, Mushi, you know, he's not playing well. Why are they still playing with him?" He's the guy like Akuro that you just always want him there next to you in the booth. He's going to bring up the whole team. He's going to make his teammates play better. It's never about Mushi when he's on these teams. Anytime you want to form an SCA team, powerhouse team, Mushi's one of the first guys you want to grab. He is just the perfect teammate to have.
And I completely agree with that assessment. I think that Mushi is one of those rare characters who is obviously an old dog in Dota and who has remained a relatively high-performance player the entire life of his career. And I think there are very few pros that you can really point to that have retained that kind of relevance, especially as you can point to certain people like Kuro or Puppy, but they're the 5-position, captain roles. And I would say that you can kind of forgive performance just because they're the captain, they're doing the drafting and such. But as an actual core player for most of your role, most of the time these old guys usually have some real low performances sometimes. Burning, I think, is a great example of somebody who definitely had great highs and then definitely went into a very deep trench and then came back up again towards the little last bit of his career. But there was definitely that section. As a legendary player that he is, there was definitely one section where he did not actually keep that consistency, and I think Mushi has kept that.
Okay, let's move on to LGD. I guess coming up short again affects them a little bit. They're obviously going to be a team that want to bounce back from DAC. They had a great chance on home soil of doing well and then didn't. Have they got the caliber of players? Have they got that togetherness to bounce back from that?
Yeah, they're the ones that cause those big upsets to the Western team. I feel like throughout the entire DPC, it was anytime a VP, a Secret, a Liquid, even EG went up against these Chinese teams, it felt like, they always felt super confident. You're like, we have these Chinese teams figured out, this is going to be an easy win for us. Teams almost wanted to be going up against the newbies, the VGs. LGD, I think finally, no, that's no longer the case. We're going to start causing these upsets. They got second, but I think not only did they kind of get that monkey off their back beating some of the top Western teams,
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. LGD's turn to pick.
Omni Knight.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. LGD's turn to pick.
Muy buenos días con todos, muchachos. Estamos listos y preparados entonces para presenciar la primera partida de una serie de 3 en el que se enfrentan nada más y nada menos que PSG.LGD contra el equipo de Mineski y letritas asiáticas, ¿no? Un saludo para todos los preparados chéveres que ya se van conectando a través de la plataforma de Facebook, ¿ok? La plataforma de Facebook de Gamer Studio, a través de YouTube también en mi canal personal y por Twitch en el canal oficial de Epicenter en español. Con la cobertura oficial en español de este torneo, muchachos. Entonces, pues nada, gracias a todos por estar aquí. Para los que no me conozcan, me presento, soy Patrick. Pío tuvo un imprevisto, así que lo más probable es que esté regresando para la siguiente partida, muchachos. Yo no sé para qué tengo activado ya esto, ya que no pude obtener mi slot de caster. Es decir, estoy en el lobby, pero no tengo mi slot, así que vamos a desactivar esa opción para el micro, activado siempre. Pues nada, no sé, vamos a ir viendo el tema de los picks y los bans. Tenemos el pick de la Luna y el del Rubik por parte de PSG. Luna, es curioso, está mostrando su hard carry de primera mano, a ver si esta strat le funciona al equipo del GD. Mientras que Mineski apuesta por un Upnight y también un Jakiro. Jakiro con Upnight, tal vez esto lo vayan a combinar con Naga Siren. No, ya ha sido tachada, así que le falta un lockdown efectivo a Jakiro como para que pueda posicionar un buen Ice Pad. Mientras que Upnight lo más probable es que vaya a ser el offlaner del equipo de Mineski. Así que veamos.
LGD's turn to pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
The sack.
Saludos a los pudientes de Twitch, ok. Un saludo para toda la gente de Twitch, para Rodrigo FK1, para Kevo SC Gameplays, para Luis ZX15, para Melian00, Peruvian Origins, ¿qué más? Para Derix144, tenemos por aquí también a AZ Pro XD, Abel Saavedra Luna, Benja Collago, Carlos Gutiérrez y toda la gente de Facebook, ¿no? José Ruiz también, que está por ahí. Creo que la gente de Facebook todavía no recién se está conectando, ¿no?, al streaming. Espero que ya puedan llegar pronto. Lo que me gustaría bastante es que puedan compartir el streaming, muchachos. Sí, sería bastante genial que puedan hacerlo. Pues nada. Ok, disculpen. La vuelvo a poner para cuando empiece la partida. Han elegido Trend Protector para acompañar a Jakiro. Bueno, Trend Protector es un setup bastante bueno como para que el Icepad pueda conectar en más de un héroe, así como también el Macro Fire. Sin embargo, Trend Protector no llega a poder colocar este setup sino hasta el minuto, me equivoco, sino hasta el nivel 6, ¿no? Entonces, no creo Mineski se pueda mostrar tan agresivo con estos picks. Si bien Trend Protector al inicio de la partida puede molestar un poco con su invisibilidad, con el Lich Seed, no sé si sea suficiente en respuesta a una combinación tan letal como lo pueden ser Rubik y Leshrac. Podrán combatir con eso. Bueno, el Lich Seal puede terminar aplicando un movement slow bueno, como para que Yakiro coloque el Icepad. Veamos qué es lo que sucede entonces. El cuarto pick de PSG.LGD Gaming es a Bounty Hunter, lo que me hace dudar si Leshrac va a ser al final de cuentas un support o un core. Podría ser este un Leshrac medio, ya que Bounty Hunter lo más probable es que vaya a ser de posición 4. Ahora, veamos cuál es el pick de Mineski. Gyrocopter para Mineski. Lo más probable es que sea un Gyrocopter de Harkar.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
A ver, tienen Luna, tienen Leshrac ya, les falta un offlaner entonces a los de PSG.LGD. Un offlaner que pueda lidiar con estos héroes. Que combine con Luna y sus right clicks. Podría ser un Underlord, Sí. Con el ultimate del Underlord lo sacas del ultimate del Trend Protector, pero tendría que ser utilizado antes del root que pueda aplicar. Brewmaster sí, crea disrupción, molesta mucho a Gyrocopter, era una buena opción. De hecho, Beastmaster está tachado. Faceless Boy también, que combinaba bien con Leshrac y por ahí con una Luna con Dragonlance. No tienen disponible tampoco Night Stalker, porque está ahí en el entre los Vans. Razor tal vez, pero lo dudo. Razor Off es complicado. Sí, Gyrocopter la va a sufrir, no creo que tenga las cosas sencillas.
LGD's turn to pick.
Bueno, Tiny es el último pick de Mineski. Este Tiny es un Tiny medio. Ajá. Tiene un lockdown. Tiene un lockdown que le puede dar un setup indicado a Jakiro con su Icepad. Eso está bueno. Bueno, Tide Hunter es al final de cuentas. De hecho, Tide Hunter es un muy buen offlaner. Sí, me agrada. Tiene un lockdown adecuado, como lo es el Ravage. FY con el Rubik. Sonmus con el Leshrac. Mushi con el Gyrocopter. Moon con esa piedrita. Jabs, Trend Protector. Clockwork. Sí, de hecho el Clockwork también era una buena opción. Pues ahí ya está el Tide Hunter al final de cuentas. Tide Hunter.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Bueno, empieza la partida entonces. Vamos a presentar a los equipos. ¿Qué les parece? Tenemos en la facción de los Radiant a Ame jugando con su Luna aquí con los dos manguitos. Le Shrek por parte de Somus. Sí, es un Le Shrek Core. Tenemos este Bounty Hunter para Ex-Nova. El Rubik. Es el gran Rubik de F-God. Tiene todas las gemitas del Rubik, mira. Genial. Y tiene esta piedra que hace que el Rubik se vuelva loco. El Break Hallucination. Miren. Genial. Pues ahí sale su alucinación. Pero